Hoosier Sophisticate interviews Beau from GrowActive Solutions on the Danksgiving Hashtastic Extravaganza. Steve also started his grow, and he's got some questions for Beau, and Beau's going to get them all lined out because Beau know hydro. Stay tuned for the word from our sponsors.
The Missouri Cannabis Industry Association is working toward a cannabis industry that maintains local control over a free market full of genuine Missouri-owned businesses. This free market...
Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Stay at Home Grow Series presented by Evolution Magazine. Tonight, Steve Elgin from Hoosier Sophisticate interviews Beau from GrowActive Solutions on the Danksgiving Hashtastic Extravaganza. Steve also started his grow, and he's got some questions for Beau, and Beau's going to get them all lined out because Beau know hydro. Stay tuned for the word from our sponsors.
The Missouri Cannabis Industry Association is working toward a cannabis industry that maintains local control over a free market full of genuine Missouri-owned businesses. This free market should facilitate access to quality medicine at affordable prices. We mention prices because we don't feel like it's adequate to simply have medical cannabis available. An adequate supply must be available at affordable prices so that patients can purchase as much medication as they need and aren't limited strictly by finances. We feel the best route to accomplish this is to lift total license caps for the industry because, by doing so, natural market competition will create supplies and prices that are very patient-friendly. We are also working to amend the Missouri Constitution to allow for adult use cannabis, protect home growers' rights, and to expand the caregiver program so that your fine skills can help more people have access to the medicine they need. If these initiatives sound appealing to you, we need your help. Your help will strengthen our voice and include your own. With memberships starting at $10 a month, check out mocia.org for more information on benefits and discounts. Now, sit back, relax with your favorite medicine, and enjoy the show.
Hey everybody, Big V here coming to you from Kansas City, and there's so many exciting things going on here since we've been given the freedom to use medical cannabis. And one of the things that we've been given the freedom to do is to grow our own cannabis. And so there's a lot of people out there right now, maybe you're one of them, who's thinking about growing their own medication so they're not spending the high prices that it costs to get it from the dispensary or wherever they're going to get it from. And that's where I come in. I'm going to teach you from start to finish how to grow your own medication, what equipment you need, get you set up and work with you to customize a program that fits your particular situation. Most of my clients that come to me, they're new, they've never grown at all, and they have absolutely no idea where to start. And so I'm going to walk you through and help you understand the laws. I'm going to help you understand how to stay compliant and teach you how to do all the little things that you need to know to be successful from here on out. So if you're struggling, maybe you've been out there looking through the internet trying to find the answers and you just can't get them all together in one place, get a hold of me, KC Grow Coach, www.kcgrowcoach.com, and I can definitely help you get to where you want to go and accomplish your goals as far as cultivating your own medication.
Total Green Solutions needs, specializing in creating the perfect grow space. They build indoor spaces as well as greenhouses. With over 20 years of combined construction experience in electrical, carpentry, plumbing, ventilation, and landscaping, they can help you design, build, and install the grow area of your dreams. Find them online at TotalGreenSolutionsKC.com and contact them today.
Green Gene Terpene here backstage at the CannaFest Bowl Nationals, the Auto Grow-a-thon, a 4-state competition pitting grower against grower, where they all grow the magic melon autoflower from Humboldt seeds. Tonight, I'm joined by the Missouri Madman. What brings you into this competition, sir?
Well, I'm going to tell you one thing, Green Gene. 25 large. And I'm going to be in charge when I put my stamp on the rest of the competition.
There you have it. The Madman means business. We're going to kick this back to you, Bill. Well, I want to grow some plants.
Make me wanna dance.
All I need is a chance.
No one said we can't.
So I go and see Beau
Go and see Beau.
to learn to grow hydro.
Lord, go see Beau.
His hands are so dirty,
He got a green thumb.
got me feeling kind of flirty.
GrowActive Solutions.
GrowActive Solutions. GrowActive Solutions. GrowActive Solutions.
Now you're growing with the good stuff, boy. And now you're growing with the good stuff, boy.
Hi, I'm Stephen George Michael Elgin.
And I'm Craig Alexander Blaze Kohler.
And together, we're Hoosier Sophisticate.
Steve, when people ask you, what is Hoosier Sophisticate? What do you tell them?
Well, it's like a warm apple pie sitting on the windowsill. It's too hot to touch, but you just can't help yourself.
Mondays are for the Hoosiers. Well, now so are Tuesdays through Fridays. Hoosier Sophisticate's going 5 days a week starting October 5th, 2020, bringing you psychedelics, cannabis, and comedy, all you can handle. Oh, yeah.
Please take a moment to acknowledge our network affiliates and streaming affiliates across the state of Missouri. The Home Grow series is made possible by the cooperation of many groups coming together to provide an educational platform for the community. We'd like to thank all our affiliates and sponsors, and will feature different groups each week. Now stay tuned for the Home Grow series, starting at 7 p.m., just moments ahead.
Hello. Hello there. Hello. Hello.
How you doing?
It took us a second to get there. I love seeing Craig over there in that seat just sweating. Just sweating. We had a lot of things we had to change before the show. We mounted a TV. We mounted a TV. A lot of stuff going on here at the Sweet Leaf Studios. I'm here with Beau from GrowActive Solutions. Tonight on the Stay at Home Grow series, we're going to talk a little bit about bubble hash. Bubble hash?
Yes, bubble hash.
Because I've been calling it Bubba hash.
Bubba?
I have. I'm not gonna lie. I've been wrong for a long time. I was like, Bubba hash? Yeah, I like Bubba hash. People are like, this guy's never smoked weed before a day in his life.
You are a Hoosier, though.
I'm a big time Hoosier. Welcome to all the Hoosiers out there. Everybody from Evolution Mag, everybody from KC Weed Blog, all the characters out there. Who else we got for sponsors? Big V.
Big V, KC Grow Coach.
KC Grow Coach. You're in charge of the sponsors.
MCIA.
MCIA. Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And guess what, people? I started a legal grow in Missouri. How crazy is that?
That's
How
fun,
exciting is that shit, dude?
It was cool.
Going to your shop. We have footage. I think we'll play the mini episode today. Do we have that loaded in there?
Can.
We can, and we will.
Whatever
Have
you
it
say,
loaded in. We will have that loaded in. Maybe we'll play that. It's about a 10, 12-minute clip of how I got everything. I've rewatched it twice, going through all of the nutrients, because it can be a tad bit overwhelming. But it's such a cool process. So we're going to get into that. Beau, address the crowd here to begin the show. What do you got?
Not too much.
Beau wore a green hat.
Yeah, I wore a green hat, and then I started blending into the background.
He was
We've been
like the Back to the Future kids. He's like, no. And also, we want to address something. Clay Stallings demanded that we name this show on Facebook.
Yeah, Clay Stallings Live.
Yes.
Why?
He's
an
Wayne
ego.
Newton.
He's an ego.
He's the
maniac.
Wayne Newton of the Missouri cannabis
industry. Donkashane, darling, Donkashane. Guys, please hit us with your questions. I don't know if Craig has a text box
I
up.
can put one up.
Oh, he can.
Nice.
No, I doubt he can. I seriously doubt he can put one at the bottom of the screen right down here. Okay. We're going to see if Craig can throw up. He doesn't know the dimensions. That's what I'm banking on. He doesn't know the dimensions. Guys, thank you for joining us. Let's talk a little bit about hash. And actually, Craig, do you want to throw on that video in the background of us? Because we did a little pre-recording
the
tonight.
Hash video?
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead and throw that on. To begin first, though, what is hash? Basic breakdown.
So hash is, it's a lot of different things to a lot of different people. But really, for an overview, it's the collection of the trichome heads, and it's separating the THC trichome heads away from the plant material.
Okay.
So we're just isolating, and we're making some type of concentrate of those THC glands.
What's the difference between keef and bubble hash?
So keef is a dry method. So it's either typically, either just like dry screened. So you would rub plant material across the screen, which would then separate it from the hash. Like think of like the bottom of your grinder. The other way would be to do like dry ice extraction, which we've done before on the show.
Yeah.
With the Alchemist 215. So where that is like a tumbling method. And you use dry ice just to freeze the plant material and make it easier to separate the trichomes from the plant material.
Okay.
So
kind of similar effects, though, do you think? And just personal level, anecdotal, between keef and hash?
No.
Really?
No.
Okay.
So, yes, they do have similar qualities. They are a concentrated form of THC, right? But there's... I don't know. There's definitely something different to me.
Okay.
And it really comes down to like really kind of like the feeling that I get. It's way more intense, I feel, in like bubble hash. If you're going to be between the two methods, right? Between keef and bubble hash, there's just a completely heavier and like thicker feeling to the bubble hash, where like keef.
Yeah, you can sprinkle some on a bowl and go.
Like, yeah, and like, but that's the thing. It's like it all depends on how fresh it is, right? So that stuff might have been sitting in the bottom of your grinder for months as it's been collecting. That stuff is dry. It doesn't do anything.
Even your keef will get dry?
Yeah, of course.
I never thought of that. It already seems dry.
Yeah. And then it's just THC.
So you need to be scraping your keef all the time and smoking it, right?
Yeah, if you want to keep it fresh.
Oh, I always keep it fresh.
Keep it fresh.
Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. Are we watching the video right now?
It's playing.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Oh,
cool.
okay. Well, Craig, you didn't even let us know that the video didn't say action.
What do you want from me, bro?
How close are we in? How close are we in on
He
this?
just put the bags in there. He poured in a little bit of water. About threw the bags in. It's been playing this whole time.
Looks like it just started over from the
I
beginning.
just started it back for you.
Oh, we didn't have to do that. People already saw what's going on. You have full control of the video too, which I really enjoy. That's a new
we're good.
feature.
We can fast forward. We can pause. We can do whatever you guys want. This is about where we just left off. He was putting the micron screens into the
It's
bucket.
magic. It's
Okay.
magic. All right.
So what's going on here, Beau?
All
What are you
right, so
doing?
here, this is what's going on. So we're getting everything together that you need to make some bubble hash. And I wanted to show you guys how easy it is. So first, we're starting off with our buckets, our bubble bags, and then on the outside of the 5-gallon bucket, we actually have a 5-gallon bucket insulator sleeve to help keep everything really cold inside of the bucket. And so you can see that I'm lining the buckets right now with the different size micron screens. So first one I think that I put into the bucket would be the 25 micron. This one that and then the second one I put in, I believe, was like around a 70, something like that. And then the one that I just put in is the work bag. So that's where we're going to do all of the work of mixing the material and mixing it with the water, the ice, and really separating those. And that's what's going to hold all the plant material back as we're filtering the rest. So like right now you can see that I'm just dumping the water into the bucket. Just want to cover the bottom and make sure that you got some on the bottom. So when you're putting it in, and then I'm going to put a little bit of ice in there because you want to get everything really nice and cold. That's what's really the biggest difference, really a big outcome difference. So as cold as you can get it, you're able to collect the trichome heads much easier, as well as hold that plant material back, which is a constant theme when you are making hash. It's all about the cold.
And are you using tap water? What kind of water are you using there?
So I'm using reverse osmosis water.
Okay. Which you can just buy at Schnucks.
Yeah.
I found out.
Yep.
I was looking in real tiny print on the drinking water. It says reverse osmosis. I was like,
You get that a lot of car wash. You can get that a lot of car washes too. Like you get
Really?
like distilled water or reverse osmosis water, usually one or the other at those.
the car wash is never the right thing is coming out of the things. They're never the right thing. You're trying to get it clean. It's shooting soap out of there. It's a whole crazy deal. Okay, so you want to do that. And the water, is it warm, cold? What is it? Cold. So you got to keep that cold too. Otherwise, why is the ice doing, you don't want to warm up the ice. Oh, I'm fixing his GoPro right now. This is one of my dominance things that I do whenever I set up the film. I make them put the GoPro on, which, how about I brought the GoPro? I'm like, time to edit all this footage. And I'm like, I don't have an SD card reader and I don't have time to run back home. So all that footage, we can play any of that footage. None of that right now. I know. We can play it at a later date though. I'm sure everyone will be like, yeah, please do that. We want to see that. But I was all geared up. I'm sure we got one around here though. Like I said, I mounted a TV today. All right, what are you doing now?
What else do you want from me?
Yeah, well, I have everything on my list, okay?
All right.
What's going on here? Tell Craig he was a failure.
So right now I am putting some plant material into the buckets. So first, again, we put some water on the bottom. Once I put the 220 micron screen into the bucket by itself. This is how I like to make bubble hash. There's a bunch of different methods. They're all very similar. Some people like to use machines, but this is the way that I like to do it. So it's just by hand and it's very gentle, very easy to do. But again, we're putting a little bit of water into the bottom, then I'm putting a layer of ice in. Then I put the plant material, and then I start to add a little bit more water just to make sure that there's enough, water to submerge all of the plant material. And then now I'm putting a layer of ice over top of all of the plant material to hold it underneath of the water.
Okay.
So what that's doing is that is going to make sure that all of the plant material, all the trim, and any of whatever you're putting in there, whether it's trim, buds, whatever, is getting completely saturated. So what that's doing is it's going to take the dry plant material that's all crumbly and breaks very easy and brittle, and we're going to soak it. We're going to saturate it to the point where it's not going to break up as easy while we're doing our agitation and our mixing to separate the trichome heads. So right now it's just putting a layer of ice on top, just to make sure that everything is held underneath of the water there.
You were pretty gentle with the ice too there. Yeah. And are you using gloves too? Is it sticky, or is it just a preference to do it? You probably should use gloves whenever you're doing anything. That's what I've noticed, that I probably need to invest in a whole box of gloves.
Definitely. It's just a cleanliness thing.
But I kind of want to get in there, like you ever see the good chefs and they're in there with their hands and stuff, But
I'll tell you what. I mean, well, look, I got hash fingers right now.
Hash fingers. I went to a place where I did see a guy rubbing his nose crust right here and then making my salad by hand. I left. Only time I've ever left a place. Now you're seeing us move in 8 times motion. What are you doing here?
So right now we're just doing the mixing. So again, it's really, actually I wish we would have made this a little bit slower so they could
Oh, it's right. There's 8 minutes of this.
Oh, yeah?
And he can slow it down. He can pause it too. We'll get to a point where, how dare you?
I know.
We can do whatever we want here. Slow it down, Craig. We got a slow down filter.
Oh, yeah?
That's just you moving in regular speed, bud.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So really it's just a very gentle mixing of everything. So, I'm not working really hard. It's not, mixing it up. A lot of times, like on these hash videos, you'll see guys that use like a paint mixer on the end of a drill, right? And they're like getting in there and they're like, right? That's just shredding everything and just, making a complete mess. I do a very, very gentle stir. And then over time, that's just, just keep everything mixing and everything moving, and you're going to get that complete separation. So right now I'm doing mixing up. Well, not mixing up. I'm sorry. I'm draining the work bag. So right now we're taking all of the water that's held inside of the material since we're done with our agitating. And that really went on for about, 10, 15 minutes?
Yep, we said. Yeah, it was about 10 to 12 minutes of the agitating in there.
So
because it started to rise up and turn a little brighter green.
Yes. And so now I'm just letting all the water come out because the water has all of the trichome heads.
And the water looked crazy. You'll see the water. We get a close up of the water too. And if we had an SD card reader, you could totally see it on his GoPro. If you get the GoPro out, you can watch the footage over there. Hey, did you get my text, or are you not checking your phone? No, I don't.
You want to know weirdly?
Okay.
So I actually have an SD card reader. For whatever reason, in my pocket today, it's just an SD card reader.
Holy shit.
Here, you figure that out. I will.
That's how you do things around here.
Yeah.
Woo!
Clay Stallings live.
Here we go. So you're going to see a little bit of your pour here.
Yep. So that was, all the water out of the bottom of the bucket. I'm going to put a little bit in just to make sure that anything that's stuck to the bottom, I'm just going to just mix it up and try and get it out there.
Sure.
And then really after that, then it's just letting everything settle again. And then we're going to start to filter it out. And so
it was bubbly.
Yeah.
It was a lot more bubbly than I thought it would be. But it's weird like that with plant materials, though. I've been seeing people, I've been watching all the videos, man, on all the growing stuff just because I want to consume. And the teas, it's amazing how bubbly some of the teas will get, that people make their own teas, I guess, to, get nutrients into their plants. But it was crazy. It's kind of an interesting deal. It's always kind of a little scientific, too, which is great. I'll let you keep going here.
So now we're about to pull the first bag. So this one is, So this is 100 and I believe 60 microns. So really everything, so this is what was left in between the 220 and the 160 level. Okay. Right? So this is like really for real hash, if you're making bubble hash, that is like your lowest grade. That's a really good grade for you to cook with. If you were going to be doing anything with that material. But the amount that we pulled out from here and the you know, the quality of it, you know, you can see it's not really green at all or anything. And there is a ton of it. So here in a second, you're going to see, you know, how we pull it off the screens. But right now what I'm doing is I'm basically washing down the sides. So what I do is I take some of that cold water and pull the bag over the bucket. I don't know if you guys saw that, but what I do is I put the bag, I take it off, let it drain, and then I put it onto another bucket and then pull it over the sides so you can keep tension, and that kind of flattens out the bottom of the screen. And then I take some of that cold water from the other bucket and wash it, you know, wash down the sides, because that cold water is going to be nicer to those glands than you trying to scrape it and trying to get it off of like the seams and stuff like that. So,
because I mean, we've seen Keith will clog up a screen. I assume you can probably clog up a screen with this stuff if you're not too careful, right?
oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So taking care of your bubble bags is also very important so that, you know, you're not purchasing them all the time. There is people who buy them regularly because they like to have new screens. But, you know, I've had, you know, a couple sets of bubble bags over the whole course of my growing, you know, career. So I think I've probably owned 2 sets just because I take care of them. I make sure that I'm washing them out with cold water. I'm making sure that, you know, just I'm cleaning them, you know, right then and there and not letting them sit. So
we can't see the video, bud. You don't have to worry about the GoPro. It might have audio on it. We're good. You might want to watch the audio. Okay, because I said a lot of things about you that I don't need on the record. Oh shit! All right, so you're getting it down in here, and you're using the water that from the other bucket that still has some of the. What's in that other bucket?
So that's the 25 micron screen.
Okay.
So also I make hash a little bit differently. So typically bubble bags come in like 5 or 8 bag sets. I'm sorry. And so what that is they come with either 5 to 8 different size screens so that you can pull different grades of hash or different size glands. And you might want to do something with this size or this size. So with this run that we did, I just took off the basically just the plant fats and the plant material off of that first screen, you know, which is like laying on the table there.
And what is it laying on?
It's laying on a screen, which is on top, which come with the bubble bags. But then it's on top of a paper towel to help draw the moisture out.
Okay.
So then, you know, this is the next screen down, this is really in the bubble bag set. This is the final screen. So really I only use the first 2 and then the last screen so that way I can do a full collection. Now, again, you might want to separate, you know, I believe that there's like a 73 micron screen and there's like a 120 in most sets. All sets come with a different, you know, they have their own little thing to it because there's no real set science to it. Because all THC head glands are different sizes, and that's what you're doing. You're just trying to catch them with a different size screen. So this is just the final one so that I can collect everything. You know, that's really what I want. You know, I don't care about separating it into the different grades because to me, hash is just all of that complete.
Do you want to see the GoPro? Do you have the sound on for the GoPro in different media sources?
Oh, yeah. But that.
Look at that. Look at that. GoPro saves its footage real weird. And he started the video, or that's what I was worried about. You don't have to worry about the GoPro stuff. It's going to take a lot. Craig, he never listens to me. Now he's locked in. Now he's locked in on the video here. Thank you. I need that. I appreciate you, buddy. I appreciate you. All right, now go back a little bit. Okay, now, no, go forward a little bit. There you go, right there. That's good. So now you got that screen's done, and you got your plant material out of the bigger micron screen.
Yes.
Now you're pouring that
Just that little bit of water that I use to wash down the sides, I'm just pouring back in there. There shouldn't have been anything in
Sure,
there.
a few cupfuls.
Well, there shouldn't have been any like real trichome heads, and that's also where I'm showing that these are the 2 other screens that I'm not even using from the set. Okay. That generally come with the 5-bag set that I'm using. These would be in between these 2 that I'm pulling to, again, just separate them into different size heads. But I just wanted everything in this one last pull. So now, again, I'm going to let it drain. And the thing with this bag is, depending on how much hash you're making, or how much plant material you're using, or really what's left over and what is going to be your hash, this bag can actually take quite a while to drain because it's such a fine micron. Plus, you have all of the heads that are laying on that screen clogging it, right? So the water, it can take a while to come through. So there is some people who will make like
it's like a little sludge kind of in there.
Oh yeah, that they'll like hang it and let it drain into buckets. Like that's what I used to do when I was making a whole lot. Is I would have different hooks, and so all my different bags would just get hung on hooks with buckets underneath of them, and I would just let them drain over time because sometimes it would take a while.
Did we start, or did we talk about what you started with? What material you started with? I don't know if we did. What did you start with? Bag of trimming, right? It was.
Yes.
Okay, so you just stuff you cut off your final ones. Do you let that sit for a while? Put it in your freezer? No?
Yes.
Okay.
So as soon as everything's trimmed up, all of that trimming goes right into the freezer. So that way it just, again, preserves everything to the best quality that I can. So
right now, there's Apollo getting in there. He's ruining the shot, as usual. Go see Beau down at GrowActive Solutions. He does. He's got a great little crew there. Richard Karn works there.
Yeah,
which is amazing.
Yeah.
So that's kind of neat.
Yeah. So now, as you can see, we're just letting it drain a little bit, and then we're going to start to scoop it basically off the bottom. And all I use is just a normal, like kitchen spoon. I like the thin metal spoons for collecting. I think that they work the best rather than like a plastic spoon or anything like that. Now, if you see on the side of the screen, I do have my little black plastic pasta, spatula, fork thingy. That's what I use to agitate. Some people, again, there's all types of things that you could be using, whether it's a wooden spoon, I've seen it done with like a bamboo stake, that you got from like steak. I got a wooden spoon. Yeah.
That's what Beau's like.
But I like my little pasta fork because I feel like it grabs some of the material and can move it around without being very abrasive,
Yeah. You were delicate with it.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, is being as delicate as you can, so that we're removing those glands purely, so we don't get a lot of plant material. The worst thing to me in the world is making bubble hash, and then you get this like green slop that like, oh, it's just horrible.
You're looking for a golden color.
Yes, white, gold.
Like deep gold.
Yes.
I mean,
absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely, if you can.
And you can tell the difference in color there too. I think we get.
Each screen just kind of.
Yeah, I think I get it maybe a close up. I should probably go.
Yeah, well, it really depends on how abrasive you are. I've seen people who again have used like drills and stuff like that. And it's green all the way through, all the way down to the very bottom, just because they've just shredded that plant material. And now the chlorophyll's leaking out, especially if they didn't keep everything very cold. Then that chlorophyll is moving. It's a liquid. So the whole thing is that we're trying to, again, keep everything cold to freeze that chlorophyll so that we're not releasing the green and that planty stuff into the into the oils, into the THC glands that we're collecting.
Oh yeah.
So, I missed the spoons. So sorry, I was talking through that.
I licked the spoon too.
Yeah, Steve licked the spoon.
It's a weird deal, man. It's so weird. Especially the way Beau held the other end of the spoon in his mouth, which I thought was, I don't know, it's Lady and Tramp style. It was whatever.
Yeah.
Look, and you said it was a normal spoon. It appeared to be one of those spoons with like the slightly wooden handle, like that was kind of like pearl inlay, like the 1970s. Real nice. I actually dug the spoon. I'm weird like that. I like nice dinnerware or whatever you call that shit. Nice silverware. Is that what they're calling it these days? The kids. Yes. Is that what the kids are calling it these days? Those, I like the way the bags are set up to do kind of what you do too, because with you putting that little screen over the top, that like white ridge kind of helps you out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like kind of holds form.
Exactly. It helps me see like where that lowest point is going to be. I know when that white ring is around that, equal to like the top of the bucket, that I have a perfect, I guess concave screen.
Buddy.
So as I'm washing everything down, it's just going to puddle in the middle to allow me to scoop easier, everything off the bottom. So.
And you're taking your time with this too, because we got this going pretty fast. Huh. And you could have taken this and kind of scooped it out, kind of scooped the water away. But you're right, it does. The water goes away a little slower with this batch, but also doing it around the edges, you just kept going and going and going. Kind of like you do that work now, it's going to save you a little work in the end, and you're going to get a better product out of it.
Exactly.
That's a smooth transition. And I did like the buckets come with koozies. All right, you can probably kill the video maybe because we.
No, this is where I'm going to go
cleaning it.
Yeah,
never mind. We got the cleaning in there.
So, just wanted to show you guys real quick how I also clean my bags because it's really easy. A lot of people try to complicate it. It's really, again, same thing. It's all about the cold. So I'm just trying to get everything as cold as I can possibly get it. So I'm letting the water run for a second. Also, just while I'm cleaning out the sink, just to make sure,
it's photo quality.
Yeah, there's no funky stuff. All right, and then I'm just going to simply just rinse off the screens.
Is that inside out?
Yes. So this is the side that where the hash would have been laying on. That way I'm washing it from the inside out to get it off the bag. And then I'm going to go back and rinse and then kind of do it again.
Okay.
So, but it's just, real simple. You don't want to be abrasive. You don't want to scrub it because any type of heat is just going to smear that oil and it's going to clog those screens.
Yep. You just flipped it in and out right there.
Yep.
Flipped it on the other side.
Exactly. So it's real easy, and that can really preserve the lifespan of your bubble bags, which, they're not expensive really. But, anything that you can keep reusing time after time and, years after years, well, then, heck, you're just getting your mileage out of it.
Anybody put a that might have been it. Oh, there we go.
There's a close-up. So, yeah. So that's
it,
what came from it. And this is...
Oh, and then he moves them to a new paper towel.
Oh, yeah.
We can go to a wide shot now, though, if you want to, buddy. That's it.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. Show them this. Now we can show them this.
Yeah, so this is what I got out of the final screen. So this is a nice hash coin, as you can see.
Do we have a close? Oh, no, we don't have a close. You got
Ooh.
it. Oh, yeah. Look at that. You call that a hash coin?
Yes. Yeah.
Cha-ching.
Exactly.
That's how Ricky from Trailer Park Boys paid for everything.
That's yeah, absolutely.
Hilarious, dude.
We were just joking about that earlier. My guys were like, hash coins, Ricky, da 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 da. And I'm like, oh no, coins ain't where it's at. You're not balling until you have a driveway.
I got into that show late and I couldn't believe it. I'm like, how have I not been watching Trailer Park Boys forever, dude? It's one of the fucking best of all time.
Definitely. But yeah, no, this was, really nice quality, as you can see that turned out. It's super stable. I can just hold it in my hand.
Can I hold it?
Yeah.
It's not sticky. It feels great. And I guess you just take little chunks off, put them on a bowl.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good time. Craig, what do you think about the whole process? You got any questions about that? Anybody on the text line got any questions?
It looks so appetizing.
It really does.
The product looks like a yummy taffy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Give me, like you just did. I just want to take a little bite of it.
And hash. It's one of the.
All from trim?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. 100% trim. There's absolutely no bud in that run, whatsoever.
You should have
that
seen
was
this jackal's trim. It was like white, little snowy, little leaf. I'm like, oh, that's your trim? Like, what do you like? Can I eat some of that in a salad? Like, it looks so good, dude.
And this is my favorite way of making hash. Again, like there's so many different types of hash extracts out there, and there's even you can press this into rosin. That's what's really being done a lot. You don't really see hash in its real form like this too much anymore. It's really, most people are taking it and putting it into a freeze dryer and then pressing it in rosin. But to me, this is hash, and this is kind of like what draws me to hash making. All the CO2 and the alcohol and the rosin and all that stuff is really cool. We've pressed rosin before together, right?
It's really cool.
And I think that is really cool, and that's like the new cutting edge way of doing stuff. But old school hashish is like there's something that there's nothing else like it when you have it right.
It is so old school. How did they do it back in the? I mean, you know any of the history of hashish? Like, I guess they were doing dry or warm methods of getting the crystals off or the trichomes off.
So it really depends, and this is also what's really drawn me to it is because it's like the history of cannabis, right?
Sure.
So every culture from around the world makes it differently. So there's all types of ways of them, either doing dry, extractions or doing like water extractions as well. One of my favorite, and don't quote me on this. This is what I was told, when I was relatively young, is that like an ancient form of like Syrian hash making was that they would take basically huge plants and cut them off at the base, and then on a wall, that there was like a wall in each one of the villages. And basically what they would do is they would take it and they would just beat the entire plant against this wall, and it's just been the hash wall for forever. So literally just like a baseball bat, just over and over and over again until this thing is just nothing but a pulp, and whatever sticks to that wall is your hash, right? So then they would come through and then they would just scrape the wall off with hash, and whatever collected. So like I always thought that was really cool. Moroccan hash is also, they have a very rich history of hash making. Morocco is where like a lot of old school hash used to come from. Afghanistan as well.
Sure.
So there's all types of different ways of doing it. I've also seen another method where they basically like use these bowls and they stretch like this mesh screen, just like what we were using, across the bowl. And then like the men of the village sit around and they like beat it like a drum. And there's almost like a prayer and like a song and chant that goes along with it. And as they're doing it, that's what's like the force. And, they're making their hash that way. So really like this type of hash to me is like ancient. You know what I mean?
Totally.
There's something that's completely different about this than the new world of cannabis. This is old school, real old school. This is the way that this stuff has been made for centuries and centuries, And so I think that really, in order to understand where you're going, right, you got to understand where you've been, And so when everybody's getting into hash making, this is the first form that I feel that you should really get down. It's very easy, but there's an art to it. And there's a personalization of your style with hash making, and everybody does it slightly differently, There's guys out there in the hash world that, because I use a 5-bag set, that's not real hash. You gotta use an 8-bag set and you gotta separate it into these, or the fact that I only use 3 bags of that 5-bag set, again, it's just all different for what you want to do. But it's really about customizing it and making it yours. And especially when you can really turn, nowadays there is a saying that's like, it's soil to oil. You know what I mean? So when you can plant that seed, grow that plant, harvest it, and then make it into something else, there's something that's so satisfying that comes with that. And to me, there's just nothing more satisfying than making hash.
Well, that's I've been trying to brush up on my history of cannabis and just people in the ancient, Orient area. Is that right? Ancient Orient? Can we do that? Yeah. Thank you.
I'll allow it.
So, just learning that, it was in there, some of the coffins and the tombs of some of the emperors, and going through the timeline of hash. And it has that same vibe for me, that old school vibe. And it's the people like that. I mean, we're only, 85, 90 years? Was it 37 when the tax... this marijuana tax stamp act or whatever, that bullshit got put through, and how in our little portion of time, how marijuana has been treated, and how it's kind of, our parents looked at it, how we look at it, how we're looking at it now, and we're like, yeah, we think we've come a long way. Because I was watching a Jack Hare documentary too, and he was big into the aspects of hemp, and just how the old world was hash and hemp, baby.
Yeah.
I need sales for my boat, and I want to fucking be able to chill out every once in a while. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. We've been doing that since the dawn of time. So to come in the last 90 years and be like, whoa, I don't trust you guys to have that. You guys might fucking get crazy and kill a bunch of people, or date outside your race. Whoa, that's fucking wild. Can't have that happening right now. So it's just the history. You do need to learn the history of cannabis and brush up on it, because this stuff it's very primal. Like, it is, like, even just growing the plant seems to find source, because we're going to get into that. Maybe we'll run I think we have a Can of Convict project thing to run, and we'll get into that, but because I got a little grow going on, and how growing has affected me in so many different ways than even just what I thought it would. The excitement, the finding myself getting back to the roots of humankind, and falling in love with something that is so little that you have to take care of, and you see new little things on it every day, and you're like, oh. And you swear they grow from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. You're like, oh, I see a change in you.
Yeah.
And it's cool to see that on a daily basis, that you can cultivate and take care of that. And Beau is actually the guy who helped me out, Craig.
I know.
Do you want to run Can of Convict, or you want to run our episode? What do you want?
Let's run Can of Convict first.
Okay.
And then we'll come back, kind of show your the madman going through GrowActive, and then you setting everything up, and we'll go through some questions that you didn't know that you even had.
All right, we got any more questions?
Yeah, I was going to say, what about taking some questions for hash?
In the
hash
meantime,
questions.
a lot of it was just people saying they want to try it, shouting out your Can of Moms hoodie. Look at those baggies. Not a ton. I'll tell you what. Let's go over here.
We are on Twitch. We are on
YouTube
as well. On all the usual suspects.
I've also got.
Oh, he's got it. Oh, look at him. Remember earlier I said he could never do it?
Yeah. So, yeah, they were talking about how green the water is. If you guys have any questions, shoot them into us. Why don't we get the Can of Convict project rolling here, and we'll take a short little break and come back and check out the madman.
Beau know how to grow.
Cool.
Hey, good evening. This is Chris and Christina with the Can of Convict project. I hope you're enjoying the show tonight. We're here with Steve from Elevate Holistics, and we're here to give you our weekly update.
So Steve with Elevate Holistics was the one who put together the fundraiser for Can of Matriarchs, Aiden's Alliance, and the Can of Convict project. So we're going to take a moment today to say thank you to you guys for...
There you go. Not working, huh?
We don't have dance either. We don't have the dance thing either. We're going to go to the Can of Convict project here. And that's the crazy thing. That's one thing I need to keep reminding myself, that there are people still locked in jail because of a plant. And now that I see how growing is and how much passion people have for growing, it makes me wish that anybody could grow as much as they want, because I feel like it would flood the market with people seeing Steve Geeter from the CannaFest, how he's growing one in different pots and 3 different pots, and he's just like, hey, this one's going to be ready in a week, this one's going to be ready in 2 weeks, this one's going to be ready in 3 weeks. kind of like the experimental nature of, oh shoot, what's going on? I put him in this pot, this happens.
Yep.
And it's kind of crazy because he just has 3 kind of tiny miniature weed plants that the middle is just kind of one big bud. It's a wild, and learning about all the pruning techniques are crazy. I mean, who did you learn from the most, do you think, from like your roots? Like, did you have a go-to guy on the internet? I know you put me on to Mr. Canuck, which I've been watching all of his videos.
Yeah.
His are so high quality too.
Yeah, they're nice. They're easy to
good.
watch.
Yeah, they are. I mean, he's got a million of them.
So when I got started,
you don't have to name any names too if it's like your Uncle Rico or whatever.
No, like there wasn't, you know what I mean? Like this thing called the internet wasn't what it was then, you know what I mean? And you know, information wasn't shared as freely. So my first like grow video that I watched, I'm sure it still exists somewhere on YouTube. Yeah. But it was this like Dutch guy, and they didn't speak English. Right, so you couldn't understand a word that they were saying. It was just him like walking into the hydro shop, buying a light, and then going home and just making his room. And then like kind of like it was like a time lapse of him getting through his first crop and stuff like that. And that actually really helped.
Really?
Yeah. And so like watching that thing a million times over, just scraping it for any little bit of information that I might have missed the past 900,000 times that I watched it. And again, it wasn't in English, you know, so like there was no, you know,
that's why you speak fluent Dutch.
Yes.
But only about grow supplies.
Absolutely.
That's a nice little deal you worked out for yourself. Yep. Oh, man. No,
then there was like a couple books. But that was really...
The Grow Bible? Didn't George Cervantes or Jorge Cervantes or what?
No, not that guy.
Not that guy?
Not that guy.
Because I remember he had the Grow Bible or one of those books that everybody... Oh, we're back.
Hey.
She went like, wow, what was that? All the screens started going wonky there for a minute.
I think that I have Convict loaded in.
I don't know what you got loaded up there,
It's the
but
same
it just
file, but
warped
that
the
was
matrix in
crazy.
this joint.
Let's see if this is the Can of Convict project here. Yep.
Hey guys, Chris and Christina with the Can Convict Project. Hope you're enjoying the show. Got a small update for you this week.
We're going to keep it real brief so you can get back to the Danksgiving show. We just want to say that this Thanksgiving is really kind of special for us. We were advocating for some of our guys this time last year, and 3 of them are out and enjoying Thanksgiving for the first time in a long time with their families, and that is a super special moment. We're really grateful that they get to share that with everybody. For those who are still in custody, I've been talking with them, and guys, I just hear their spirits being beaten down day after day. Every time I hear them, they are sounding more and more depressed. So please, send them letters. We've got all of their contact information up on our page. Please reach out to them, or just send your good vibes into the universe their way, because they are really in need of it. And especially during the holiday season, it hits a little harder on their emotions. So keep them in mind. Next, we want to say thank you to everyone who participated in the holiday helpings. We had a tremendous turnout. The food donations were out of this world. We were super impressed. It was wonderful to get to drive around. We took the Central Missouri donation drop-offs and took those on Saturday. The families were so thankful. You know, they're talking with them, they're saying that, usually they're the ones that are giving. So they just ran up on a hard time. And thank goodness we were here to assist them and give them a holiday meal. So thank you, everyone who donated. Thank you to all the businesses that assisted us with this. We love you guys.
And thanks for all the people around the state that helped gather this food and help deliver this food and help, provide this for everybody. So it takes a community, and you guys all stepped in.
Yes, thank you. The Hoosiers, Craig and Missy in particular, drove down to Rolla and met us in Jeff City. Big help. Everyone was a big help. We're so grateful for you. Love you. But that's about all we have for you this week. Please enjoy the rest of the show. Enjoy your families.
From our family to yours, happy Thanksgiving.
Hey everybody, we're back here at the Sweet Leaf Studios where nothing goes wrong and all of our technology works right on all the time, baby. We're in Festus. We open up here pretty soon. You can see I'm wearing the hiking gear of, was it Jeff Burton?
Jeff Burton,
our guy over at the
157.
Point. We're going to be selling that kind of stuff here. Whatever, no big deal. But thanks for the support of them. Actually, I bought this shirt, so what am I saying? Thank
You're
you to
supporting
someone.
them.
Yeah, thank you to me, I guess, is what I'm trying to say here. Thank you, Steve. But yeah, I think we have a video here. If Craig did everything right on his end.
Yeah, I'll probably have to
Lord
adjust
knows.
some audio on the fly.
Lord knows. But what we got here going on is I went to go see Beau, but I went as my alter ego. I went as a Missouri madman. He's kind of caught on a little bit, kind of caught a little thunder. Got some views on the book is what they're calling it. Got some views on the gram.
That's what the kids are saying.
That's what the kids are saying. So the madman grows the best weed. He's never grown it before. So he's got to go into Beau. He's got to go see Beau, South Tower Grove. Got to go see him at GrowActive Solutions. And here's a little journey into the mind of the madman.
Here we go.
Journey.
I'm gonna grow the best cannabis in town.
Here's a journey.
Nope. Look at me. I'm just disheveled down here in the corner.
You are.
I'm getting work tonight, bud.
Craig's sweating.
I'm sweating, but it's right here, so I don't really know what to do.
Computer thingy work.
All right, so Steve, instead, I'm gonna go ahead and throw up your tent video,
Are you? That's good.
Nice.
and you can talk about the tent setup that you got from Beau. Maybe Beau can tell us a little bit about the tent setup that you got from
Yeah, try to work on that
from Beau.
madman video if you don't mind. Thank you, buddy. So what I transitioned. Oh, there we go. All right, here's me looking at the directions, right? And I'm like, I better read most of these before I get all this out.
Yeah, right.
No, I'm serious.
Which is the right thing to do.
Yeah, I need
If
it
it's your
to.
first time putting them together, I can put together tents with my eyes closed now.
Oh, I'm sure. And it's not
yeah.
hard. It's not difficult at all, as you'll see. But I wanted to make sure some of the pieces look the same. And it's like, wait, are you the same? Or you just look the same? Are you the same?
The same but different.
Yeah,
different,
and
but the
I
same.
need to make sure the black tips are pointed in some direction.
Yep.
Because it could be different. What you'll see here is Craig sabotaging the show by having it all on the screen we're trying to look at. And now everything's gone blank again. So here I am putting up the side post here. The bottom portion we couldn't see because Craig had the screen all fucked up. So
Don't you love it when we prepare? So we actually tried to prepare. We actually tried to do something with this episode.
he goes hard now for us over in that chair.
Yeah.
And it used to be me until one show I worked a day on. And when we got to the show, it started doubling up every file right before we went live on Zoom or something.
Yeah.
And so every file was doubled. And I'm just like, the AI went out of control. So here we go. I got the post up. That was not hard at all. So you got a base, 3 pieces on each side. And this is a 4 by 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 by 4. Which, shit, how tall is it? 6 foot? 7 foot?
No,
It's got to be 6.5 foot.
it's about 6.5.
Yeah, it's got to be 6.5 foot. So what they tell you to do, and you need a lot of space. The more space you have for this, the better. I didn't have much space. My grow room's kind of tiny. It's just like a little corner there. So I got this. I spread it out as much as I could. And then, can you consider your tent as a grow room technically?
Yeah. From what
I think I understand
I
that
understand.
as that. Yeah, I understand that as that.
As long as it's in like a locked and sealed room, you can also get a lock for your tent if you wanted to.
So here's what we're doing. We're draping this over. Once you set it in the tent and drape it over, you're done.
Wow, I've never seen it done like that though.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, so the way you guys just did it there at the end, I just didn't
we
catch
got
that. Yeah.
We got it upside down.
Can I see what did Steve do that he did was so crazy there?
What's up?
What did he do that?
Keep going back.
What did he do that was so crazy, or that
back.
you normally would do?
So there we set it in the bottom.
Oh,
So
okay.
we set it in the bottom and then laid it down on its side and then wrapped it.
That actually is a really good idea. I usually just try and pull it over the top.
Yeah, I was thinking that, but I couldn't.
Oh, you don't have much room with the
I don't
ceiling
have
down in
much
the
room.
basement. Yeah.
Okay.
What are you giving
Yeah,
away
I
all
know.
my fucking
I know.
Give my address.
I am. This is numbers right here.
Jesus Christ.
314.
Disheveled over there.
Steve Elgin, 1435.
Yeah, Jesus Christ almighty. So this is us flipping it over because me and my wife kind of messed it up on that aspect. But then we had to put these. There's 2 bars that go at the top. Afterwards, that's what you're hanging stuff from.
Absolutely, that's
Which
your
is
hanging
wild.
stuff bars.
So that's it.
All right, man. Rock and roll.
And it was fun. It was fun doing that. It was a fun little experiment for me and the wife. We ended up sleeping in it the first night, which was cool.
Nice.
Pretty roomy? Pretty roomy?
Yeah.
Just perfect for a little snuggle?
Yeah. Actually, it wouldn't be bad if you laid it like on its side when you went camping and fucking laid in there. It really would, because it's thick. It's thick as hell. And if you put a light in there, you'd cook. You'd cook all night long. I'm gonna try that out. But
You want to give this one more try?
Yeah, sure. Here's the madman if Craig did it right.
Just kidding. Ain't working, bud.
What's going on with your source, bud? Oh, I bet you could probably play it.
I got another one without credits I'll put on.
You could play it also on the side over there and do a desktop probably, because I am a smart boy. You can do a little desktop action over there. I've never seen him like this, and this is one of my favorite things of all time.
Hey, his hair is like fully
I
slicked from
know,
like running
dude.
his
It's like
head
Pat
through it.
Riley over there, sweating it out. It's the fourth quarter of Game 7 here.
Yeah, come on, bud.
And you should be able to play it through the desktop. I think we have desktop audio
Finding
open.
it right here. I'm going to have to create a scene here if you guys want to.
Yeah, a scene with the desktop. I'm super excited about learning how to grow my first time. And actually, I don't know if Beau wants me to put this out there, but I'm going to anyway. The great thing about, the only great thing about becoming friends with Beau is, one of the many great things about becoming friends with Beau is I got to call you and you say, hey, call us if you have any questions.
Yeah.
But you're like, just throw me on fucking FaceTime because I have your cell phone number now. And you're like, yeah, just hang that there. And I was like, oh my God, thank you. Me explaining it took so much longer than being able to be like, throw me on fucking FaceTime real quick. And I was like, what a brilliant little thing to do. And just having someone to help, because some things seem very logical. Like whenever people talk about watering, you're like, yeah, you just water it the right amount. Like, just water it, bud.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, what's the? I mean, I want the soil to be wet, but I don't want it to be too wet. I heard about root rot. Like root rot's in the back of my head, and all of the things, all of them say, hey, the one thing you can do is kill your plants by too much water.
Yep.
And I'm crazy. I'm in there every couple hours just like just spraying, dude. I'm just giving them a little spritz. They live on a fucking island where they get a fucking nice little spritz.
Nice.
I got a lot of questions about growing, the first steps here. Do we have those pictures? I never got to be able to send those to you, so we don't have those pictures.
No, but we got the madman in
we got
here.
the madman. I might be able to send you the pictures.
So
Just
let's,
one more thing.
But it was real cool, real quick. It was real
Yeah.
cool doing the FaceTime with you because, it even opened up my eyes to really to use that technology more. Because that's a great way to legally be able to come into somebody's garden. You know what I mean? That's always been the challenge, is how to consult, because when you're in the shop and you're asking us questions, it's so hard to diagnose these problems because we're not there. We don't see it. You know
and I
what
was
mean?
like, it's the thingy, the end of the fan thing with the vent. And you're like,
so,
okay, Steven.
I'm hoping that pretty soon we'll work out something where we'll do like, you know, FaceTime appointments. You know, so that way we can come right into your garden and essentially, and you know, you can ask us questions, because when we're there and we're looking, you know, it's a really easy way to really get those answers and to simplify everything, you know. So, you know, it really opened up my eyes to, you know, to that. And so
You're welcome.
It was cool.
You're welcome, Beau. All right, guys, let's check out what the madman's doing when he went to go see Beau. You're going to have to turn mics off and get it desktop audio down here. Settings. Audio. And do. This one? Yep. Oh, it's just kind of mic. Maybe it's going to double down. We should try that. I don't know. I think it's now. No, it's just mics. It's just our mouths. Is that funny?
tent is what I'm looking for, because I want to grow some cannabis.
You need a 4x4 tent? I think I got one right here for you.
Oh, no. All right, really broke everything right there. There's the tent. What are we looking at here? All right, cool. I'm going to take this, put this on this side. What else do I need?
So we're going
Because
to...
I know nothing. I know nothing.
So the Batman knew that he wanted to get a 4x4 tent when he walked in. So now we're just going to get everything to equip it. So we're going to get you an LED light. We're going to get you some fertilizer. We're going to get you some stuff to take care of the pH.
Cause lights, camera, action. I'm going to grow the best cannabis in town.
I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah, with your help. With your help.
All right, so I guess first we're gonna go. Let's walk through the store real quick. We'll grab the
I'll
light.
follow you, man. I'll follow you. Great.
All right.
Or why don't you back up? So which way we go in here?
We're gonna go to the far shelf.
Far shelf? You lead us. Greg, he'll lead us. Nice store you have here.
Thank you very much.
Show me the lights.
Right over here. So we're gonna grab you a Spider Farmer LED light.
Okay. Spider Farmer, huh?
Yeah. So this is enough to take care of that 4x4 tent. It's got an onboard dimmer, and it's a great cost-effective light. So I'm into it. This one. Yeah. So another thing that we gotta do is we gotta get you set up with a fan and filter, because we want to take the smell out so that nobody knows what the Missouri Madman's really up to, you know?
Very cool, guys.
So yeah, let's go grab that. We're gonna go to the back of the store. Let's go. All right, so right here, the filters.
Come to daddy.
And we're gonna get you this guy right here. Nice 6-inch filter. This is gonna help take all the odor out. And then we're gonna get you everything else that you need and a fan to hook up to this.
Woo, let's do this thing. I'm pumped.
So now, we got a fan.
I have a lot of fans.
And we got some ducting. So this is how you're going to attach to the carbon filter. Okay. The ducting is going to attach to the carbon filter, which is going to attach to the fan. Inside of the box of the fan we have a controller. So this is going to take care of your temperature and your humidity once we set the set point. So this is going to do all the thinking and the work for you to keep your environment right where it needs to be.
Beau doesn't think the madman's got a brain in his head. How did Beau know I got tests on my brain before and half of it's missing?
Let's see, we gotta get you some soil, we gotta get you some containers.
It's mud.
Yeah, pots. You got soil.
Ooh. It's a circle. It's a circle of life. Woo.
Got some saucers for the containers so we don't make a mess in the tent. Alright, so now, got some nutrients for you.
Nuts!
Yep.
What do you got here?
This is Man Farmer. This is their Grow and Bloom formula. It's really easy to use. It's very cost effective. All the instructions are right there in the label, or you can always feel free to give us a call.
Okay.
That stuff is really good. Meant for cannabis.
Made for medicine, baby.
Got your cow mag.
Oh, I know all about the cow mag from our Thursday night gathering.
Yep, you gotta have that cow mag. This is a flower expander, so that's gonna get all your buds real big, fat, juicy.
You hear that, Oklahoma? You can suck on my bud growth development powder. Is this a powder?
Yes.
It's a powder, and you can powder your neck with it. Maybe it'll make them bigger. Won't. It won't. I've tried.
This is a flushing solution. So at the end, before we harvest, we're going to use a flushing solution to make sure that we don't have any type of fertilizer buildup in our soil.
Okay.
And make sure that we get all the terpenes to come out nice and good and everything tastes
Can I drink this for a drug test?
No. Okay. Then, the magic to everything, we talked about this before, man, is we got your pH adjusters. So we got a Hannah pH meter, as well as their two solutions. They make a quick calibration solution and a storage solution. So the storage solution here is for when you're not using the meter, you're gonna put a little bit in the cap and make sure that the probe stays wet. The calibration solution, this stuff is the coolest. Usually before Madman started growing, we had to use all types of different bottles to calibrate our meters. You know, 4, 7. So Hannah's made one that does everything all in one, and you only need one bottle. So
Thank you, Hannah.
easy enough for the Madman.
Easy enough for the madman. It's got a meter.
Another important step. Once we make sure that we're using the good nutrients, once we make sure that we're pHing them correctly, we want to make sure that we don't have any types of insects or mold, mildew, that can infect our crop during the growing process. So this right here is a great IPM product. It's all organic, and this will help deter insects as well as powdery mildew and a bunch of other things. You can either use this as a foliar spray, which, there you go. You got a foliar little spray bottle for you, or you can feed it to your roots if you need to, if you have soil-dwelling insects. We also got you a measuring cup there so you can measure stuff, and you can also, use it as like to water your plants and stuff. That's what I like to use.
The madman's not gonna have any insects. You know why? Because Beau's helping him out, and apparently this stuff works on crabs too.
What else we got here, Beau?
So there's a couple other tools for you. We got a shot glass so you can measure your nutrients, not take shots while you're gardening. And you can. Why not? What the hell? Then we got a couple other things for you, man. Okay. Number one, we got a trellis net for you. That way, this is really great to support your plants and make sure that you're maximizing your garden and that light that we're going to be getting you. Then we also got a timer for the light and any other equipment that you need to put on so that you're put on timers. And we also got you a pair of trimming scissors because you're going to need those there at the end. And you're going to need to prune during the process. So defoliating as well as trimming, those things are great.
I can feel the power summoning from the ground.
These are pretty high quality.
They are. They're very nice. Yeah,
They're pretty good.
absolutely. Yeah, definitely. And then we're also going to search off, let's see, I think.
How exciting is this, guys? I don't know. It's going to be wild. I'm so glad I met Beau. There's Richard Karn getting the phone. Look at him. He's good.
And then we got some seeds for you, buddy.
Oh, Humboldt Magic Melon Auto Flowering Seeds.
Magic Malone.
How about...
How about that? It's time for all you punks in the world to find out what St. Louis cannabis is all about.
Okay, thank you. That's
Absolutely.
That's a very nice little setup. This it?
That's it.
This is all I need?
Yeah, this is all that you need.
This ain't bad. This ain't bad, Beau. I'm excited, guys. Hoosier Sophisticate and GrowActive Solutions are going to be working together. Come see Beau. GrowActive Solutions down in South Grand, Tower Grove area. It's an amazing place. He helped me out, obviously. He's got everything you need to get started on growing your own quality medicine. Beau.
Yep. Thank you very much for coming in. We're happy to get you set up, and we're going to be doing like check-ins and making sure that everything is put together right, and then making sure that we can get these guys all the way through harvest, and so you guys can see just how easy it is. If Steve can do it, if me and Steve can do this,
Yeah, I mean, geez, look at me. Look at me, for God's sakes. I was running around outside earlier. We're going to put it together. We'll put the whole thing together.
If we can do it, so can you. So, we've taken the time to make sure that it's approachable and easy. Come on down and see us, and we got some really cool content coming for you guys that I'm really excited about.
Stay tuned. Follow Hoosier Sophisticate. A lot of this is going to be on Instagram. If you don't follow GrowActive Solutions on Instagram, do it right now. If you don't follow Hoosier Sophisticate, do it right now. We're going to put a lot of this stuff online. A lot of it's going to be on Instagram, though, so keep up with us. See how the grow is going, and in no time, we'll be growing quality cannabis and medicine. I can't wait. Beau, thanks, brother.
Yes, thank you, Steve.
All right,
Mike.
That's how you bring people back right there, man. Oh, yeah. The mics are on. You just gotta kill that screen over there, bud. Hey, you're getting it through the desktop audio too. Oh, there he is. There's Craig figuring it out on the go. Look at him. He's so unhappy over there. Beau, I'm growing thanks to you. It's pretty awesome. Check out the Hoosier Sophisticate show. Check that out on every morning but Mondays. Mondays we do the nighttime, and we get weird. We get like real weird. Beau knows. Beau's been here on Monday, and it's only getting weirder. Craig put up some stencils on the wall. The studio's really coming together. We ordered pizza and wings earlier. We're like just guys doing guy things.
Yep.
Yeah, it's fun.
I got your seedling video. Do you want to pop into that a little bit?
Yeah, let's pop into that because this is the whole deal. Let me ask Beau what's going on. So Immaculate Seeds. Beau helped me out with some Immaculate Seeds. I think we're gonna maybe get them a little sponsorship, or we'll start getting some Immaculate Seeds talk on the show. I got some OG Kush. Here's me filling up my 3-gallon pots. 3-gallon pots.
I think so.
How much dirt am I putting in those? About that much? Like, am I trying to fill up? Here's my deal. Do I fill it up as much as I can because I want as much root? I want there to be as much space for the roots as possible.
So it really all depends. So no, you never really want to fill it up to the tippy top, right?
Shit.
Actually, about where you have it looks about good.
Okay, cool.
So you want?
I'm gonna put more in there. Don't worry.
Maybe like a half to an inch. Down from the top.
Okay.
That way, when you water,
yeah,
you know what I mean, and everything kind of comes up for a minute. It's not spilling out over the sides. With autos, though, sometimes there's a technique that people use where they'll put in maybe like half the dirt into the container.
What?
And then
Pause
they'll
this.
put this. Yeah, and then they'll put the seed in. And then from there, as that little seedling is growing up, they're going to start putting more dirt around it, and then, you know, having it come up to support that stem a little bit better. And also keep increasing that pot size. It's a way that they can start off with smaller soil that's better for seed starting, because sometimes it's hard when you're working with a big container, getting that, you know, how much to water down.
Yeah.
So reducing that amount of soil can help with germination. It can help with just the care and, you know, the speed at which that seed's growing. And then you're just going to keep putting more and more soil up around that stem as it gets bigger to fill up that container. So that's another method that you can also try with your autoflowers as well.
Okay, let's take a step back. Before I got to this point, I took your seeds and I wanted to try the method. I've had some seeds in my house that I just, you know, had from over time. I sprouted some with the method of using the paper towels in the plates and putting them in a dark place. That seemed to be the best method to get a taproot. And then I also tried these. I tried just putting in a cup of water into reverse osmosis water. And then I tried just putting them in soil. The ones I put in soil kind of grew a little bit, and you know, a cat was fucking with them. And then I have some that I grew from the taproot, or from the paper towels. Those were the best. Those are now looking the best. And then I have these, which are, they sat in water for 24 hours. 2 of them sunk, 2 of them stayed afloat. And then I put them in, I was like, shit, I need to put them in a paper towel for a day. So then I put them in a paper towel for a day.
Okay.
Just trying to see. And then 3 of them had just barely split and had a little bit of that taproot showing.
Okay.
So then I took those. I washed. They say do it with tweezers. I just washed my hands real good and put them in there with my hands, because I said I wanted to be a part of this thing.
Yeah.
You know, I rub my face and my body, and I'm like, yeah. So I put the seeds in there about a ½ inch down.
Okay.
And then that's where I'm at here. Take me. Don't start this yet. Don't start the video yet. Where are we? What did I do wrong? What did I do right? What do you recommend on all that stuff?
So germination techniques, there's so many of them.
Yeah.
It's really just finding one that works for you.
Okay.
A lot of people really do prefer the paper towel method.
Yeah.
I personally like to just go right into my soil. But that's just me.
Okay.
So it really does seem like 9 out of 10 people really like that paper towel method, and it works really well for them. But again, it's just finding what works for you in your garden, because again, everybody's just going to do it a little bit differently. And, and also it's good to make mistakes sometimes.
Yeah.
So you can learn.
A couple of the random seeds that I was just working with, the seeds stayed on the top, and the cotyledons or whatever, those little
baby leaves.
I call them coties. Whenever those, they were like trying to come out, but the seed stayed on it until it got real high, and it never came off. So the seed was closed on top of this little baby plant. I'm like, do I help it like an egg? The little chick who has the part of the egg on its head. Like, here you go, little guy. Oh, you can see now. But I left that one alone. That one turned into something weird. And then the other one that actually grew really well, it had its seed shell crimped around the stem. Just stayed on the stem and was like growing with it. And I'm like, we'll see how that works out, I guess. Like, it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what reading online, you can see there's so many different ways to germinate seeds. Okay, so Craig, you can go ahead and hit play here. Now I'm getting to the part where I'm putting the seeds in there. Now I'm putting water. This is how I'm watering it. What am I doing wrong here?
So you should have pH'd your water before.
Shit.
So that
you gave me a pH thing too.
I did.
Yeah.
You should have used it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All
right. Because that's really important. Yeah. I think we covered that in Hydro 101.
Sure for the germination.
Were you there?
I knew this was going to happen tonight. I'm okay with it though, because I'm learning. I can't remember all the information. You gave us a lot of good information. Okay.
Well, you have it over there in that computer. You can hit rewind and pause.
I know.
You're like the one person that has me pausable. Jesus. And you didn't pH?
I did. I pH'd it. I didn't show you that part. I pH'd it. It was like at a 6.4.
I think you're lying.
It was like a 6.4.
Okay.
Is that good?
Yeah.
What do you want it at?
5. So again, that's also something that's a little bit different for everybody. Really anywhere in between the 5.5 and 6.3 area, I would say.
5.5 and 6.3. 5.5
Yes.
and 6.3. I don't remember. Video's messing up. Are you trying to do speed? Look at this guy. It's at normal speed. All right, so I should have pH that water. I don't have the seeds in there yet.
Yeah.
I'm watering it before I put the seeds in there.
Cool.
Because I didn't want to, when the soil's so fluffy that when you pour the water in, it kind of gurgles up a little bit. So I didn't want to have that seed move around too much.
Definitely. Yeah, no, that was definitely the right move to make because you definitely want to, get that soil nice and wet first to get any air pockets out and make sure that all your medium is kind of, getting equally saturated.
Okay.
But you still should have pH'd. So
I did off camera. You just
Okay.
didn't see it. It was
Cool.
it was between 5.5 and 6.2.
oh yeah, nice.
Right there, I have the plate where I have my seeds germinated. So now I'm popping one into each one, and these again are autoflowers. And I was gonna sprout them in littler ones, but I've heard with autoflowers that can be a tricky process.
Yes.
Transferring.
Yeah, well, so anytime that, really any type of stress isn't good for an autoflower. They have a predetermined time that they're going to flower in. So with that, you don't have any control over that vegetative and bloom cycle. So any type of stress that occurs during the veg cycle is going to be time off of growth, Also, really, autoflowers will start to flower when their roots hit the sides of the container. So whenever they start to get root bound is when that sets into their flowering cycle. And so really it's finding that balance if you're going to use a little container for autoflowers between letting them get root bound.
Pause.
And transferring them. And so that's why you find a lot of people who grow autoflowers are, just starting off in a larger container to avoid any type of, shock or possibly just sending their plants into flowering earlier.
Okay. Now here's another thing you see in here. My light with the germinating, and that light is a Spider Farmer SF4000.
Yes.
How distant do you want that to be from your germinating seeds? And that one has a dimmer control.
Yes.
Do you even fuck with the dimmer control?
So you can because the nice thing with LEDs is that dimmer is basically every percent that you're dimming is coming off of the electric consumption.
Okay.
So when you dim your light to 50%, you're actually using 50% of the electricity.
Okay.
Which is also creating 50% of the heat.
Okay.
So there's a direct correlation between the money spent, your dimming, and your heat. Okay. So you can use that dimmer, and that's really how you make LEDs the most efficient. Really, you do want to generally keep them as close to your plants as possible, and then use that dimmer, to make it really ultra efficient and spend the least amount of money to grow those plants. Now, germinating a seed with a light that's as powerful as a Spider Farmer 4000, I would say, especially because this is your first time, I would probably have it about 36 inches, 48 inches even away.
Because right there, I'm probably about 2 foot away.
Yeah.
So a little high could go higher?
Yeah, you could definitely go higher. Or, again, you could just dim it down a little bit.
That's what I'm going to
So
do.
plants generally need about 50% of the light during veg that they do during flowering.
What is the correlation between height and
Dim?
And dim? Like you said, he could dim it to make up for not being at 36 inches. So what does that look like at? Is that a direct correlation? Like, if you just bring it down 12%,
It's got to figure it out.
20%?
So it should be, and that really just goes into the quality of the light and how it's manufactured, right? Because really it's going to be in that spread, and how evenly that's going across the canopy. Okay. So if you're going to be at 36 inches, I would say come down to, and that's where I was also kind of going with the plants need 50% that they do in veg that they need in flower. So, you might be able to come all the way down at that height at 24 inches, maybe even down to close to under 50%, 40%. You can even run that light on for germination because they don't need very much.
Okay.
I forget the numbers. I was actually just looking at the chart earlier today and what exactly the PPFD is that each plant, what cycle amount of light that plant needs. But it's very low for germinating. So, you definitely could, I would say, I mean, you can dim it down to about 50% if you're going to keep it at that height, or go on up.
Okay. Now, I also have the AC Infinity, the Cloudline T6 series fan in there.
Yep.
That thing you told me, it's like a thermostat. So I cranked it up, and when it hits a certain temp or a certain humidity at its peak, it'll turn on and kind of get the air moving.
Yes.
It runs right now. It goes on about every 10 minutes, maybe 7 to 10 minutes. And I have my, because it has a little wire with a metal thing at the end that I put plant level.
Yep.
And it's figuring out my humidity level and my heat in there. My humidity level, I can only keep max about 40 to 50, 55 tops. And then when it kicks on, it'll kick it back down to like 40. And then it kind of builds up again. And so I'm always kind of in that range. And I'm keeping it at 78 degrees as my peak.
Okay.
Thoughts on that whole process going on right now?
So really that's what we're going to start to run into with the winter season. The winter, it's going to definitely dry out, right?
Gotcha.
So it's hard to sometimes keep that humidity level up in certain growing environments, especially in basements. Even mine gets super dry this time of year, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
So with that, you could maybe run your temperatures a little bit higher. With LEDs, it is definitely completely safe to run up to 80, 82 degrees. Some places even run them a little bit higher, but that's usually on like the commercial end. Or just not a lot of home growers run that hot, but definitely some of the commercial facilities do.
Okay.
So you could definitely go up a little bit more, which should also help increase the humidity as well, hopefully, and get those plants transpiring more and moving water from the roots, and out through the leaves, which is going to build up your humidity. And also not allow that fan to come on as quickly to satisfy that temperature.
Okay.
So the other way you could do it is by dimming your light down, because again, it's the temperature that's kicking that fan on most likely, right? Yep. Well, yeah, hopefully you don't have it kicking on for low humidity,
Yeah.
So if we were to dim that down, you would also, you could find a sweet spot where you're not building up as much heat, which is not going to have it come on as quickly.
Okay.
The other thing that you could do is go the humidifier route.
Okay.
So there is people who run humidifiers.
Will I need that eventually?
You might.
Okay.
You might. I just did the upgrade in my garden to put in a humidifier, so that way I could really focus on my VPDs. But we're also at two completely different stages of our growing careers, right?
Yeah.
So with that, that is definitely something that can come down the road. Now, granted, they're not expensive. You can get an ultrasonic humidifier on Amazon for just a few dollars, maybe $40, $60. That would be good enough for a tent.
Okay.
So
when do I need to throw a fan in there?
Really once those plants just start coming up a little bit more, right? We don't want to blow over those weak little stem seedlings at the moment, but it's always good to have some airflow. So even if you were to put the fan in, I would say just put it up a little bit higher just to get air circulating in there, right? But maybe not blowing right onto them at the moment. We're going to wait till they get a little bit bigger and get some, true leaves on them before we start hitting them.
Are your vents open the whole time? Because I have two vents on each side of that tent. On my right and left side of that tent, I have a vent that's about 10 inches by 6 inches. What do you do with those most of the time?
So most of the time I leave those closed.
Okay.
Most of the time when I'm
when the fan is like sucking, because it'll suck the whole tent in.
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. Because I was like, man, that's got to be kind of, I don't know. The fan is such a high tech piece of machinery. Like, when you get something made from Beau's or Bosch or Harman Kardon, like you just kind of know these certain
Beau's.
Okay. You could probably just let it run here its course. I think it's got 12 seconds left. Yeah, this is me just putting them in. Yeah, we're good with the video. If you want to
I've got.
That's right.
Beau was asking about the PPFD. He's saying not through. Is that something you can work with there, Beau?
I can't read that one.
So let's see.
Average PPFD.
No, because that looks like it's for. Okay.
Is it the height or the dimmability? That's fine. All right, cool. Yeah,
all good.
Pretty good graphs. Pretty good graphs. Let's look into it for a minute. All right, so the vents. Now, what is my next little schedule looking like here? I have them in my big pots. I'm a pH checking machine now. What about the?
I think you're bullshitting me.
I am now. I will never again. When are the nutrients starting to come into play?
So you have some nutrients in that green grow soil that you started off with.
Okay, cool.
So there's generally anywhere between 3 to 5 weeks worth of nutrients in the green grow soil.
Okay.
So we can go that long, without any type of feeding.
Cool.
Now, what you want to look for is any types of signs of deficiencies. And if you notice any, then you definitely want to start to feed earlier.
Okay.
So, but really, I mean, I would say safely, if we were going to mark on the calendar, I would say start to feed maybe like the half strength fertilizer around week 3. So
okay.
From what it tells you to do on the bottle, maybe start off at halfway at that week 3 mark.
Gotcha.
And then you can start to ramp it up over that like next week or 2 up to that full strength.
Gotcha.
So just to make sure that we're not going to harm the plant or that they're just eating what's left in that soil, just to make sure we're not giving that little plant too much.
Gotcha. One of the most amazing things to me so far was I had a little plant. I told you that one was all messed up with the seed stain on it. Well, I was like, okay, the thing was only this big. It had 4 leaves on it. 2 even like little ones starting to look like they were even sprouting out. Well, I pulled it out and kind of washed it off, the dirt from it. And its root system already, as a plant that big, was one of the most amazing little things. The roots were probably this long and had 30 strands going in all directions. And even transplanting those ones, I had them in clear things just because I wanted to see what was going on. And the bottom was completely, I know clear is probably not the best if you have lights on your roots. I'm sure roots aren't supposed to get light, but I just wanted to see them. And I was like, Jesus, the cup this big, the roots had entirely encompassed after a week the entire bottom of that thing easily. And the plant was only that big.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, man. I never thought about how much was going on underneath the soil. Because I was telling them, we were talking about it on the show, if I dealt with the root of a tree, I was like, get the fuck out of here. I'm trying to dig something, like this is bullshit. But then I remember at times you'd see a tree that's 30 feet away and a root this big over here. You forget how much is going on underneath there. And to see that with just a little cannabis plant and to realize, oh, where's this going? And that you are replenishing the soil with those nutrients because the soil can only hold so much. That plant is growing from what it is getting out of that soil. So you got to come in there and try to replenish it when you can. Yes. I don't know. It's just such a cool little thing. I think that might actually be the Spider Farmer right there. Yeah, it is. SPF.
How big is your tent?
4x4.
This is for a 5x5 tent here.
Yeah, I think the Spider Farmer 4000 will go up to a 6x6 is what it said on the specs. Maybe it'll light a 6x6. That thing is impressive.
That's stretching it a little bit, and that would be for veg. Okay. We really recommend, keeping it at around that 4x4 level, even stretching it up to that 5x5, you're going to notice a bunch of drop off on your sides.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So for veg, again, because it requires about half the light, that's where you can kind of get away with having it, up higher and just spreading more rather than kind of hanging it lower and having that light more directed straight.
Gotcha.
Down and not having that spreading profile.
Okay. It was really cool too because I was trying to figure out how much energy am I using. Just curious about that too. And I'm a Googler. I got on there to Google and somebody had Googled the exact Spider Farmer SP or SF SF 4000 and did the math on it. I'm like, that's fucking great. And in Missouri, that's going to cost an extra I think it was $13 to $19 a month probably And that's if you're running it, I think, full blast.
Yeah, exactly.
At an 18.6.
When we're looking at the lights like this, is this like do you know how to read these PPFD? Like,
So that's what they're trying to say there is that light, that's what their rating is from 18 inches away. So, and then there's the plant level that is required, right? So they hung the Spider Farmer 4000 at 18 inches, and then they put a meter underneath of it, and those are the readings that they're getting.
Gotcha.
Is it that's like the lumens, or what is that?
No, we don't do lumens here, right?
Yeah, so that's the PPFD. So that's the light that's usable to the plants and the levels in, where they are. So as you can see on the outer edges, it's way less than what's right there in the middle. Sure. Because that's where your most concentrated light is. And then as it goes out to the sides, it starts to get less and less. But this is
like basically where they're showing the 208s on the corners and the 320s on the sides. That's on the edge of the 5x5 tent. If that light is hanging in the center at 18 inches above the plant.
Yes.
Or the plants, I guess.
exactly.
Okay.
How often am I watering right now with those little seedlings, with the soil being totally moist?
So that's a hard one. That's a question that I get all the time that really, ever since I even started in this, it's just a hard one to answer.
You told me, I go, a lot of people lift their plants and know just by weight. And you're like, yeah, that's pretty much what I do. And I'm like, farts, man. That's like, I used to work construction where you kind of just, the consistency by looking at it. It's like, no, I haven't seen it enough to know. But I can already tell some that were overwatered. When I was trying to lift them up, I was like, whoa, to some that were underwatered, I could go like this. And It was amazing the lightness of the dirt compared to mixing it with the water. The water added so much weight to it. So it made more sense even in a 3-gallon little bucket,
Yeah. And so that's what you do. Is fill up your container with the dry soil, lift it up. Just get acquainted with that, what that feels like. Add some water to it and start to just interact with it and lift it up and start to get what that feels like. And then you'll be able to just get into your garden, and now I can just walk in there and I just start lifting plants up, right? And if it's hard to lift, right, probably doesn't need water. If I can throw it up over my head,
I know.
Probably needs to be
well,
watered.
It's crazy how light the dirt is. It's such a fluffy soil. Do you pack it down at all?
Not really.
Yeah,
not really.
I went like this a few times just to pack down so not too much was poking out those 4 holes at the bottom. So I thought maybe just a little pack. But I didn't think packing it down would be the fucking best idea for it.
Yeah, you don't want to tamp it down, but
Yeah.
you also want to make sure you don't have any air pockets.
Perfect.
So what you did is perfect.
Okay, good. Because you want to follow your instincts, but also my instincts are wrong about a lot of plants. Like I'm one of those people who, I haven't really killed too many plants, but I've never really cared for too many plants. But I do love the aspect of figuring out, this was too much water, this meant this is what this means. Because, you can get it down to a rhythm, like you were saying. I was like, Beau, you ever experiment? And you're like, no, did you see the trimmings I had? And I was like, yeah, if I had an end result like that, I wouldn't be fucking like, let me try this little method over here. But it is my dream to see guys like you and other growers I know really be able to just take the reins off and say, guys, fucking have as many tents as you want, grow as much as you want, figure out as much, work with many different strains as you want. This works for headaches. This works for anxiety. This works for this. Now we're crossing these two over here. Now we got people trying it. Oh, and all this stuff they're experimenting with, it's going to patients over here. It's going to patients over here. I'm getting excited. But, I'm looking forward to that in St. Louis and hopefully Missouri. And look, Craig's got my baby right there.
Ooh.
He's got my little baby right there. Look at her. Look at that little girl. Look at that little girl. She looks tasty. I smoked that one already, though. I was running a little low, and I heard that's the best time to smoke them is right there. A lot of it got kind of just in my grinder, just little sprouts. I made a soup out of the roots of that thing. But yeah, that's what they look like right now. I think I'm at day 7 total. No, probably day 11 or something with these. Because
is that the
germinated.
autoflower?
That's what germinated. No, that's a photo period. And I thought I'd get clever and run 4 photo period that would stay in veg. and then 3 and 3, I think. For 3 to stay in veg, and then 3 autoflowers. And then when the autoflowers were done, I'm gonna be like, sweet, now I'm gonna bud these out. But you said that might not work time wise. And
those photo periods might get a little bit too big by then. Okay. In order for that plant to go off without.
Hey Steve, you got a little buddy in your garden, or what's the deal?
I thought that was so cute. Hey, would you give my personal shit? My cat on there. My personal fucking cat on there, dude. This guy's. I gotta keep an eye on. Don't go anymore, okay? You're good. Like Jesus Christ.
Don't worry about me. I know where I'm at.
We've already been through this.
I know where I'm at.
Oh shit.
Here's your little guys.
That's the cat that you were becoming friends with, and then it ate your plant.
We were
and now
bonding.
you hate it all over again.
Here's these little things that I was just experimenting with. And that's where
those are just the randos that you found?
Yeah, those are just randos that was sprouting in there, which I'm sure is probably, I guess I could sprout up to 18 plants legally, right? Isn't that the deal? Like,
no, 12. Well, wait.
Yeah, 6, 12, 18.
You can have, but is it because it's only 6 in veg and 6 in underneath? Like, can you only have 6 of each, or can you have 18 total of any of them?
Yeah, when I'm starting.
So I think that's one that I think remains.
They're all
to be
under.
Seen.
They're all under. You know what I mean? Like you can have 18 of the first level, 12 of the second level, but only 6 of the flowering level.
Yes. So that's where kind of I take it. I think
that's why I don't want showing all, putting my shit out there.
The state needs to clarify maybe that one a little bit more.
Yeah.
Or we just need to do a little bit more research into that one if they have clarified that already. I would hope that you could start off with the 18 and then whittle your way down over. Yeah, when you're getting started at least.
Because some people can't. When do you find out if it's a male or not? Because now I have autoflowers, which are guaranteed female, right?
Yep.
So males,
not all autoflowers are, but the ones that you have are.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh shit. Okay, I'm learning that too. But if you get a male and you put in all that work, that kind of fucking sucks.
Absolutely.
When it's medicine too, like shit, I can't be. That's the one thing that freaks me out about this. If I needed it for like an RSO, and I needed it and my cancer regimen counted on it, it'd be a lot more. I'd be a lot more painstaking, or it would be a lot more nerve-wracking, even more so than it is. It's not really nerve-wracking. It's kind of fun for me. But I couldn't imagine, like, oh man, dude, like, there he goes. I'm showing pictures of my house.
I'm just showing everything that Beau gave you. That's all.
You can name it. I'll give you pictures. I took those pictures purposely.
I know exactly where they're at, bud. They're on the Discord server in our cannabis tab.
I took new ones. You ever seen one of those, bud? Ever seen one of those? So that's the pH stuff that I was using, right?
Yeah, so that's your calibration.
Yeah, that's what that is.
That's your calibration and storage solution there in the grow line boxes. And then you have your Mammoth canna control, which is your IPM spray. And
when am I using that? That's not for a while, right?
You probably want to start with that here maybe in about another week or two.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, cool. And when I'm doing the pH, how exactly am I doing that? I take the water from the jug, test it.
Yep.
And then, what is it, like a strip or something?
No, it's little drops.
It's little drops, okay.
Yeah, you did this before.
I did this before. I'm just going over it. I have amnesia. And then you gave me 2. Go ahead and click on that one, Craig.
This one?
Going with all the bottles.
This one here,
the bottles.
this one?
Yes, that one.
All right.
I think that one has.
Wait, no, I did give you a pH meter. We didn't do a.
Yeah, you gave me a meter. Yeah, you gave me a meter.
Yeah, so you got to calibrate that thing with the solution that was just in the last picture.
Those are the 2 pH solutions, right?
That's up and down. That's what you use to adjust the water after you test it.
Yeah.
So once you use the meter and that meter tells you what it is, you use the pH up and down to bring that pH up or down.
I know the pH up or down didn't have anything on the bottle of how much to add it to bring it up or down.
It does not.
What
Because
the shit's up
it's
with that,
very
man?
strong. And it really depends on everybody's source water. So,
Gotcha. Yeah, I figured it'd be pretty
well
hard.
water versus city water versus filtered versus, it's all going to be completely differently, plus whatever the water treatment facilities are adding into the water, So with that, it is different for everybody. What I say is just kind of start off very low. Start off with like a drop or two and see what that does.
Damn. Okay.
And then kind of go from there.
Okay. Cool.
So, because really,
I've done
you
it
don't
before,
want to do the up and down.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, their first times, and even every now and again I mess up and I overshoot one way, but you really want to minimize the times that you are using pH up and then pH down, or vice versa, to counteract each other. Just because now we're adding a bunch of stuff into our water that we don't need to be, that the plants aren't intaking.
Gotcha.
So when you're calibrating the pH meter, do you use this quick cal solution? Do you put it in the soil and then put the pH meter? Or do you put it directly on the meter?
No. So what you would do is you take it. There's a bottle in there of liquid, right? And then you just take a little cup. Like I use a shot glass, and I might put like 10 milliliters into the bottom of that shot glass, just enough to dip the probe of the pH meter into there.
Got it.
And then you just go through the calibration procedure. The nice thing about Hannah and the Grow line of meters that they make is that they have this quick calibration solution. So normally there would be, if you had, normally pH meters would use two different solutions. So it'd be a 4 solution and a 7 solution. So those are calibrated to be a pH of 4 and a pH of 7. So that way, when you put your meter into there, is it working right? And it calibrates to those numbers so that we get the most accurate reading in between 4 and 7. There's also, if you had a TDS or a ppm, an EC meter, those would have another calibration solution that you would have to use. So now, really, if you had a combination meter, you got 3 calibration solutions.
Yeah.
Where Hannah makes the quick cal solution, and it does all 3 in one bottle.
Damn right.
So you don't need a whole bunch of those. And so when you put your meter in there, and once you dip it into that shot glass or whatever you're going to use, you just take it through the quick calibration procedure.
Cup.
It takes about
prayer
20.
cups. It's shot glass, the center over here. I'll dump it in my prayer cup.
And then you just go.
Oh, he's finally got some fucking logos up there. I texted you an hour and 15 minutes ago. What do you know?
You would have had them somewhere so somebody could see it.
Okay, so that's it. That's it. What if a guy put a bunch of just regular water in there? Should he flush it with the new stuff or just kind of let it go?
You can just make it better the next time.
Okay, I'll just make it better. I'll tell that guy to make it better.
Yeah, well, when you end up growing just unbelievable cannabis this first time, you're always going to be thinking to yourself, man, it probably could have been a lot better if I would have done it right.
No, I probably figured something out. I cracked the code.
Yeah.
The first one, you got to keep acidic.
What is this stuff here?
So that is the fertilizer that we gave to Steve. So that's just a Mad Farmer grow and bloom, and then there's a timer in the middle. So that's what he's using.
Yeah, that's my timer for the lights.
Yeah.
That thing was super easy, one button, click through. Also, the thermostat for the fan was super easy. It was awesome. Like, got it all hanging up, looks real nice. I couldn't be more enthused with the whole area I got going.
Hardest part about it is the plant part.
Me.
All the technology seemed like it went together pretty quick for you, bud.
I'm the hardest part about it. It makes me so excited. Any questions from the text line before we wrap up this presentation for
take
tonight?
a gander. 6 plants each stage. Seedlings are under 14 inches. Going to
Yeah,
get
what if I
another
have-
tent set up. Cute until she ate one of the plants. It's good to make mistakes sometimes so you can learn. Echo.
Absolutely.
Beau's reactions to Steve's crazy ass is the best. Steve is a trip. My favorite part, Beau breaking everything. Oh, on the Madman video.
Okay, so that's good to know.
Oh,
I guess
yeah.
About the 6 and 6 and 6. Shit. Just I think everybody should be able to grow as much as they want whenever they want to grow it. Like eventually, hopefully, we get to that point where everybody can just grow, because it's fun.
Yeah.
Not only is it medicine, but it is fun. It's downright fun. Like, I'm juiced up. I come in here every day talking to him. Like, this thing's doing this today. And he's like, oh, you're really into this, aren't you, little guy? And I'm like, yep. Guys, go see Beau at GrowActive Solutions. He has helped me an unbelievable amount. You're going to get online and see 10 million different things, okay?
Yep.
And everything is going to, whatever you think, you're going to find a bit of information online to say, yeah, that's probably it. Because I have read, in the little time I've been reading, you do not germinate seeds in water. And another guy said, it's the only way he germinates seeds in water. When I hit that point, when one guy who's really well respected goes, I'll never in a glass of water. And the other guy goes, it's the only way I'll do it. I get about a 95% success rate on it. Right. And I go, well, there you fucking go. Right there. I just have to fall somewhere in the spectrum. And getting to know my own style, I think, is going to be a cool thing. Yeah. Like getting to know myself in the garden, how to grow. But that's one thing, too, I wish more gardeners could grow, because it'd be really fun to have 3 plants of, if I had a room of tents, that 3 were this kind, 3 were this kind, 2 were this kind. Like trying to just figure out all, because when I was looking at seed banks, because I wondered how that whole thing went, because I was like $10 a seed for some seeds, but there's so much that goes into them, because I was like, man, I've been finding seeds. I threw away 1 billion seeds in my day. What the hell? But now there's so much that goes into them. And learning about all the different strains and reading about them, I'm like, I want to try some of those, you know? So it was cool. It's interesting. It's been a hell of a journey so far. We're going to keep up to date on Instagram mostly. I'll be tagging these guys, GrowActive Solutions. Follow them on Instagram. Follow Hoosier Sophisticate on Facebook. Follow Evolution Mag. Follow Casey Weed Blog.
KC Grow Coach.
Casey Grow Coach.
MCIA are the sponsors of this show.
Okay,
if somebody tags a friend in this video, a couple people are going to get a chance to get a couple of gift cards, I think. So check it out, man.
Okay, get a couple gift cards before Christmas. How's that sound?
Just tag a friend in the word grow. Win a $50 gift card to GrowActive Solutions.
Heck yeah, guys. If you have any questions, always feel free to reach out, HoosierSophisticate@gmail.com. Remember, we're live on Twitch every morning, except for Mondays. We're on YouTube. You can find us anywhere doing all sorts of weird shit. The one way you can help us is by telling your friends and supporting our sponsors over here. If you go see Beau, tell him you watch the show, and he probably won't talk to you.
Go and see Beau.
So maybe don't tell him you watch Hoosier Sophisticate until after you talk with him for a little bit. Otherwise, he'll get so mad he'll try to smash the lights above you.
If you don't mind, since that can of convict's pretty short and it got a little botched there in the beginning, I'd like to run that 2 minutes for them again.
Thank you, everybody. It's been a great night. We really love the Chris Smith and Christina Fromer and everybody who's involved with the Can of Convict project. We need to not forget that. I know one of the things that's bugged me lately is someone put there's a luxury dispensary opening, and I'm like, great, that's what the fucking world needed. A luxury dispensary where I go in and whatever. It's my own bullshit.
Do I get a foot massage as I buy my herb?
That's what I was thinking, like caviar and what it was just
like trying on like a wedding dress where we're going to like champagne and stuff. Oh man!
So it's a luxury. It makes you feel like a real luxurious guy. But it was the inside cost $1 million to renovate. Is what it meant.
Action.
Yeah, that's all it means. It's just you feel.
Get rid of the hash fingers before you buy your hash.
And you can re-get hash fingers all over again. Guys, thank you so much for supporting the show. Keep watching Evolution. Keep watching all the antics that everybody in the Missouri cannabis market is doing all the time. We can work together. Even though I talk about shitting on dispensaries all the time, I know it's not really their problem right now. The cultivators, you guys are the devils. I'll say it again. Sorry, Clay. I'm blowing up his show here.
Don't blow up his show.
Craig is not listening. I love everybody. We can all figure this out together. I just want everybody to work together to figure out the best way to make Missouri the best cannabis. The mecca of cannabis is Missouri. Let's do this thing. Guys, thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Hey guys, Chris and Christina with the Can of Convict Project. Hope you're enjoying the show. Got a small update for you this week.
We're going to keep it real brief so you can get back to the Danksgiving show. We just want to say that this Thanksgiving is really kind of special for us. We were advocating for some of our guys this time last year, and 3 of them are out and enjoying Thanksgiving for the first time in a long time with their families, and that is a super special moment. We're really grateful that they get to share that with everybody. For those who are still in custody, I've been talking with them, and guys, I just hear their spirits being beaten down day after day. Every time I hear them, they are sounding more and more depressed. So please, send them letters. We've got all of their contact information up on our page. Please reach out to them, or just send your good vibes into the universe their way, because they are really in need of it. And especially during the holiday season, it hits a little harder on their emotions. So keep them in mind. Next, we want to say thank you to everyone who participated in the holiday helpings. We had a tremendous turnout. The food donations were out of this world. We were super impressed. It was wonderful to get to drive around. We took the Central Missouri donation drop-offs and took those on Saturday. The families were so thankful. You know, they're talking with them, they're saying that, you know, usually they're the ones that are giving, so they just ran up on a hard time, and thank goodness we were here to assist them and give them a holiday meal. So thank you everyone who donated. Thank you to all the businesses that assisted us with this. We love you guys.
And thanks for all the people around the state that helped gather this food and help deliver this food and help provide this for everybody. So it takes a community, and you guys all stepped in.
Yes, thank you. The Hoosiers, Craig and Missy in particular, drove down to Rolla and met us in Jeff City. Big help. Everyone was a big help. We're so grateful for you. Love you. But that's about all we have for you this week. Please enjoy the rest of the show. Enjoy your families.
From our family to yours, happy Thanksgiving.